In a time when famine ruled the land, when hearts were heavy and faith was tested, one woman's loyalty would change the course of destiny forever. A story not of kings or warriors, but of love, loss, and the quiet courage that moves the hand of God. My Bible Stories Animated presents Ruth. The sun burned hot over Bethlehem. The once fertile hills of Judah lay dry, cracked, and silent. Crops had withered, hope had withered. And so a man named Elimelech took his wife Naomi and their 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion, and left their home. They crossed the desert to a foreign land, to Moab, searching for bread, searching for life. But in Moab, sorrow waited. The days turned into years. Elimelech, the husband, died. Naomi's heart broke, yet she still had her sons. They grew, married Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth, and for a time, the sound of laughter returned to the house. Then the silence came again. Both sons died, and Naomi, once full, was left empty. Naomi's tears fell like rain upon the dusty floor. Her dreams lay buried beside her husband and sons. She looked toward her homeland, hearing whispers that the famine had ended, that the Lord had visited his people and given them food once more. She rose at dawn, her hands trembling as she packed what little remained. "I must go back," she whispered, "back to Bethlehem." And her 2 daughters-in-law followed beside her on the road. But halfway there, Naomi stopped. She turned to them with eyes full of grief and love. "My daughters," she said, her voice quivering, "go back, each of you, to your mother's home. May the Lord show kindness to you, as you have shown to the dead and to me." They wept. Orpah kissed Naomi goodbye and turned back. But Ruth stayed. Naomi tried again, pleading, "See, your sister has gone back to her people and her gods. Go back with her." Ruth looked at her, eyes fierce with love. Her voice trembled, yet every word carried the weight of eternity. "Do not urge me to leave you, or to turn back from following you," she said softly. "For where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God." Ruth 1, verse 16. A long silence hung between them. The desert wind swept their hair across tear-stained faces. And Naomi knew she could not walk alone. So together, they returned to Bethlehem. It was the beginning of the barley harvest. The town stirred as Naomi and Ruth entered. 2 widows, weary from a journey. The women of Bethlehem whispered, "Is this Naomi?" But Naomi said, "Do not call me Naomi. Call me Mara, for the Almighty has made my life very bitter. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty." Ruth stood quietly beside her, eyes lowered, heart steadfast. The next morning, she rose early. "Let me go to the field," she said, "and glean among the ears of grain, after him in whose sight I may find favor." And Naomi nodded. "Go, my daughter." Ruth walked out into the fields. The sun beat down on her back as she bent to gather what the harvesters had left behind. Scraps of barley, hope in handfuls. And by divine guidance, she happened upon the field of Boaz. Boaz, a man of wealth, strength, and honor, a relative of Elimelech. Boaz came from Bethlehem to greet his workers. "The Lord be with you," he called. And they answered, "The Lord bless you." Then he saw her, the young woman gleaning at the edge of the field. Dust on her hands, light in her eyes. "Whose young woman is this?" he asked. The overseer replied, "She is the Moabite who came back with Naomi from Moab. She has worked from morning until now without rest." Boaz walked closer. Ruth looked up, startled, as a shadow fell across the grain. "My daughter," he said kindly, "listen to me. Do not go to glean in another field. Stay here with my servant girls. Keep close to my young women. I have told the men not to touch you. And when you are thirsty, drink from the jars they have filled." Ruth bowed low to the ground. "Why have I found favor in your eyes?" she said, "that you should take notice of me, a foreigner?" Boaz smiled gently. "It has been fully told to me, all that you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, how you left your father and mother and came to a people you did not know before. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge." Ruth 2, verses 11 to 12. Her heart swelled. Under God's wings, she felt safe for the first time in years. That evening, Ruth returned home, her shawl heavy with barley. Naomi's eyes widened. "Where did you glean today?" she asked. "Blessed be the man who took notice of you." Ruth answered, "The name of the man is Boaz." Naomi's breath caught. "Boaz," she whispered. "The Lord bless him. That man is a close relative of ours, one of our family redeemers." Days passed. Ruth continued in Boaz's fields, gleaning until the end of the harvest. Each sunrise brought new grace, new quiet glances between them, unspoken, tender, divine. But Naomi saw the hand of God moving. One evening she said, "My daughter, should I not seek rest for you, that it may be well with you? Boaz is winnowing barley tonight at the threshing floor. Wash, anoint yourself, put on your cloak, and go down, but do not make yourself known until he has finished eating and drinking." Ruth's heart pounded. "All that you say, I will do," she replied. Under the moonlight, Ruth approached quietly. The scent of grain filled the cool air. She watched Boaz lie down beside the heap of barley. When he slept, she came softly, uncovered his feet, and lay down. At midnight, Boaz stirred. Startled, he turned. "Who are you?" Her voice was barely a whisper. "I am Ruth, your servant. Spread your wings over your servant, for you are a redeemer." Boaz gazed at her, admiration in his eyes. "May you be blessed by the Lord, my daughter. You have made this kindness greater than the first, in that you have not gone after young men, whether poor or rich. Now do not fear. I will do all that you ask." He touched her hand gently. "Yet there is another Redeemer closer than I. Remain tonight, and in the morning, if he will redeem you, good, let him. But if he will not, as the Lord lives, I will redeem you." Ruth lay at his feet until dawn, peace filling her heart like light before sunrise. At daybreak, Boaz went to the town gate. The elders gathered. The nearer kinsmen sat beside him. Boaz spoke. "Naomi has returned from Moab and is selling the land that belonged to our brother Elimelech. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if you will not, tell me, that I may know." The man said, "I will redeem it." Then Boaz said, "The day you buy the land, you also acquire Ruth the Moabitess, the widow of the dead, to maintain the name of the deceased upon his inheritance." The man hesitated. "I cannot redeem it for myself," he said, removing his sandal as a sign. "Redeem it yourself." Boaz lifted the sandal high before the elders. "You are witnesses this day," he declared, "that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, and Ruth the Moabitess I have taken as my wife." Joy broke through Bethlehem like dawn over the hills. Naomi wept tears of gratitude. Ruth and Boaz were married, their love sanctified under heaven's gaze. And the Lord granted them a son. They named him Obed, eyes shining once more. The women of Bethlehem said, "Blessed be the Lord, who has not left you without a redeemer today. May this child be famous in Israel." Obed grew and became the father of Jesse. And Jesse became the father of David, the shepherd who would become king. And generations later, from the line of David would come the Messiah himself, Jesus Christ, the Redeemer of all mankind. One woman's faith, one choice to love beyond loss, one act of courage in the face of despair. From the fields of Moab to the heart of Bethlehem, Ruth's story whispers to every soul that has ever felt forgotten. God sees you. God has not abandoned you. And through your faithfulness, his plan unfolds. This is the story of Ruth, a story of redemption, love, and the everlasting faithfulness of God.